Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tear back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision who I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope everybody is having a great Wednesday night. Happy hump day to everybody. Boss, how you feeling over there?
Man, I feel great. Like, after a low energy game, we really pulled it through in the fourth. It's what good teams do, is the ability to close out. We never let them get too far ahead.
Yeah,
I'm thrilled. And, you know, we got to see some stuff from some of our guys that we haven't gotten to see yet. We added another to the depth, you know? Yeah, it was a good win. It was nice.
100%, man. It was good for them to be able to pull out this win just because it wasn't customary to how they usually play. A lot of guys out, things like that, but they still, through adversity, right? It was kind of a grinded out game, like we talked about offensively, especially to start, but they still found ways to get it done with their depth, which is what we always talk about. So chat, we see you guys here in the chat, man. Got some super chats here we want to get to. Doug, our guy, coming in strong, coming in hot. Appreciate you, Doug. Says, what did the Pistons do again tonight? They won again because all we do is win. Come on. Shout out G-Mac Cash. Also, he says, oh, what do you say about my guy Chaz Lanier now? We're going to get the Chaz Lanier, man.
Yeah.
We definitely going to get the Chaz Lanier for sure, guys. He played some good basketball tonight, boss.
Hey, Deuce, your audio is kind of fading in and out.
Y'all hear me?
It's for me. I don't know if it's me or if you guys can hear him. To me, it sounds a little bit quiet. But
Y'all let me know. Otherwise, we'll keep going. But if it's a little low, I'll see what I can do. I have to come back, leave and come back out again or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I
you
can
guys
hear
definitely
you. It's just a little quieter. So
say it again.
I can hear you. It's just a little bit quieter.
Okay, I'll try to get up on the mic a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So let us know about that. But yeah, back to this game, guys. The Pistons, they took care of business tonight at home. They beat the Bulls 108-93 to improve to 28-9 overall on the season, winning their third straight game in the process. So, guys, we may be in the midst of another winning streak, boss, for sure. So, as far as the injury report, we will get to that first. Cade Cunningham was out tonight. He sustained a wrist injury when he came down hard last game. I think it was a layup attempt, and I think he may have tried to break his fall with his hand and kind of hurt his wrist. Okay, yeah, he was kind of squeezing his hand after it, but he played through it. So I don't think it's anything serious, but we'll keep an eye on that. Also, Jalen Durham was out. He's still out with his right ankle sprain, and Tobias Harris was missing with his left hip strain. Karis LeVert was available. He missed his last few games with that left knee tendinopathy, but he returned. And the big change to the starting lineup tonight, guys. The Pistons went with the starting five with Kate out of Jaden Ivey. Yes, Jaden Ivey at the 1, Duncan Robinson at the 2, Asar at the 3, Paul Reed at the 4, and Isaiah Stewart at the 5. So, any thoughts on? Well, let's get to your initial thoughts, boss. Let's talk about what you actually saw in this game, and then I'll chime in. What did you see tonight from this game?
Yeah, I didn't think it was like a horrible start. I thought it was just, that starting lineup, that lineup we haven't had yet. Some guys just need to get used to each other. That's kind of what it felt like. And we were just matching, the Bulls, and then it kind of got away from us. The Bulls were getting out on transition and we weren't. But we really just pulled it together, and I felt good about it. I felt good about a win the whole time, even when we weren't playing well, because the fact that, we were still in it, not playing our best, was a good sign. Because we've seen it before. We've seen our bench squad just like light it up, and so I knew that they would, and we got a good momentum break. So
Yep.
I'm just thrilled that we beat the Bulls. This is also the second time we've beaten the Bulls without Cade.
Right, because last game, right?
Yeah,
the last game in November. Yeah,
that was when like Paul Reed popped off for like 28 points.
Right.
But I just thought that was interesting. And they're young guys. I told you I was worried about Ayo and Mates, and those guys showed out for their team. But I was worried about them because those are the guys that usually only show up for their team, So we did really good, and we spread it around. And just incredibly proud of Stu, incredibly proud of these guys. I'm excited to talk about them. There's not a lot of negatives, I think, individually. So.
Yeah, this was a great team win. They had to do it by committee, right? We were missing a lot of offense tonight with Cade out, JD out, Tobias out. That's a lot of offense. So it was tougher playing. What's that?
Trade alert. Yeah, do you see it?
I heard that he wanted to go there. I wasn't sure if it was finalized yet. So that's
like
interesting.
It was for CJ McCollum.
He be getting shipped around, bro. That's crazy.
Honestly, an upgrade for the Hawks.
No, it definitely is an upgrade. Definitely an upgrade for sure. So that'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
4-team trade. Trae Young. Wow. Okay, going to the Wizards. All right. So it was just hard for the Pistons tonight to really get any offense going in the half court because it's tough to play like that without Cade, right? So I was hoping just to see the Pistons get out and run as much as they could. They really weren't able to in that first half, though. They really was taking the ball out of the hoop a lot, and they were turning the ball over, and the Bulls were running off of their turnovers. So the offense was clunky in the half court in the first half. It just wasn't a lot of flow, wasn't a lot of movement. In the Pistons as a whole, they all had to look to kind of be more aggressive than usual offensively. And you saw it a lot. Like you saw a lot of late clock stuff, a lot of low quality shots, guys going one-on-one, just doing things that they are not really accustomed to doing offensively. And that's why we saw some turnovers. And it's tough. Like when you haven't been able to rep it out, with so many guys missing, it makes it a little tough to play as clean as you'd like to play. So it was understandable. Yeah. It was frustrating, but we got to keep in mind who wasn't available tonight to really help us offensively. So that was good to see us still be able to find a way to get it done, boss.
Yeah, and I think, some of our guys that usually step in on the offense, like obviously Danius had a great game, as like people in the chat are saying, the floor General Jenkins. But, he can, he's also someone who's shown offense too. Sasser didn't play much and didn't hit his threes. Ivy wasn't, making some of his shots. So like you said, the guys on offense that were out was impactful. And then just having some of our guys that we can usually like rely on for 10 to 12, they weren't really hitting. But, we got Beef Stew getting career highs out here. So
I know it's crazy, right? Crazy, man. Yeah, Stew went off. By the way, guys, we just we're trying something new here. So what we're going to start doing as far as every game before we get into the box scores, we're going to have a poll for you guys. We do it already, but we're going to have an actual poll now to make it more interactive. So every game to start the post-game show, we're going to have a question for you guys, a poll as to who you guys think should get the belt. So you guys may see that in the chat now. So you guys go ahead and chime in with who you think might get the belt, and then we will review and show the results later in the show. So also, boss, as far as the second half, right? Because it was like kind of a tale of two halves again, for sure. Even in the third quarter to start, it was a little bit of a struggle. The Pistons still weren't really able to get stops and scores like they'd like to. And once again, the Bulls were kind of still running off of their misses. And it was like a cycle. It was just over and over. It was a cycle of bad offense, leaving the Bulls runouts. But the energy really picked up when that bench unit came in, boss, and really just created turnovers, getting us out and running. That was the key to the game for me. That was the key to the game. Was will the Pistons be able to create enough transition offense off of their defense? Because in the half court it was tough.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It was just, low energy coming out of the half because I was hoping that we would come out of the half strong and especially just after the first half because we did okay. We were up by 2, but we let the Bulls. That was the Bulls' biggest run was basically the third quarter start. And some of these guys, just because JB has gotten some criticisms in the past and a couple games about lineups because he has so much depth. I think that what he did tonight, and we'll get to it later when we talk about the fourth, especially putting some guys back in, the low energy guys that started the third, we didn't see them in the fourth. And so I was just like, I'm going to put in guys that can match this energy right now. So that's just what it felt like. I think Kelser was the one who said low energy, and that's exactly how I think it was. It wasn't even, that we were doing anything necessarily wrong. We weren't turning the ball over like crazy. We did for a few possessions in a row in the third, but we got our spark plugs all off the bench. Ron, we'll get there, but he's the one who started it off, in my opinion. So
yeah, Ron was huge, man.
Yeah,
Ron was huge in this game. He always finds a way to whenever it seems like that's part of what he wants to be his description. Like when he comes into the game, he's just going to be somebody who can ignite the offense, ignite the defense, just bring that spark plug off the bench. And he did a really good job of that again tonight. Ryan says Cade's giving the belt out, so I'm guessing Chaz will get extra consideration. Right. Exactly.
Are you guys seeing a poll, by the way?
Yeah, I think so. I'm seeing people chime in.
Okay, cool.
With the votes. So awesome. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But yeah, for sure. It was good to see that. It was good to see that. Like I said, great team win. Needed everybody. Had some guys really step up on both sides of the ball, which we'll get to. I want to get to Doug again. Doug comes back and says, counted 6 shots, go in and out. Sure could have. Yeah, there was a lid in the rim. Like there were some guys who were missing a lot of shots at the rim that they usually make.
In and out. Yeah. It was a game of that for a long stretch. That's also what I think kind of killed us is in the second is that luckily our defense did, hold the Bulls off a little bit, but yeah, guys on perimeter. I saw Duncan's going in and out, Jenkins, some Ivy ones, like some ones that I was just kind of surprised they went down. That's always when I'm just like, is the basketball being controlled by a magnet? Right. How did that just come back out?
Right. Yeah. It was especially in the first half. It was just tough. Devon says, I like how people like got traded and dudes are like, yay, cool. The Pistons want to get it. Yeah, man.
Excited about your initial thoughts. I feel it.
Y'all know how I feel. Like it doesn't really impact us. So I really don't care as much, to be honest.
Well, I get to see the Hawks against the Nuggets on Friday. Well, I don't know. That's 2 days from now. They probably won't be there yet, right?
It might be complete by then. They can get their physicals done and stuff like that in time.
I mean, McCollum and Jalen Johnson. That's it. That's a duo I'm excited for.
That is actually a nice duo for sure. But now are they going to run with Alexander Walker as their point guard? I guess.
Yeah, now it's crazy. I guess so.
Okay.
Or CJ McCollum. He's been holding it down for the Wizards.
True. That's true. But it does seem like they're trying to go more defensive with their team, and I'm not mad at them for that for sure. So it's a good trade.
They're in a rebuild with trading Trae Young.
Right. Right. Yeah. Good. All right, boss. Let's go ahead. I wanted to address that. It's like I wasn't gonna disregard it completely. Devon calling me out over here. But guys, let's get to some box scores, shall we? Boss, let's start with Jaden Ivey tonight. Tonight, guys, Jaden Ivey finished with 8 points on 3 for 7 shooting, 0-2 from 3. 2-2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover in 20 minutes, boss. So he didn't play a ton of minutes, but he did get the start. What did you see tonight from J.I.?
Oh, right. Yeah. So I liked the way – I thought he had a really good defense, and he had an assist and a rebound in the first minute of the game. That's what got me excited about him. And I really do just think, he's been playing – we've been trying to get him back into the 2 zone, and we know he can't play the 1 for us. But I think it was just, I think he did a good job of, 1 turnover on 4 assists. I'll take that in 20 minutes. I think he did a good job of taking care of the ball, making the right decisions. The shots just weren't really falling, but I was mostly, 42% isn't even that bad. He didn't get 3 of 7, but like I said, the defense was just, I think, really good. He stayed in front of his guys really well. He had a couple of times where he was on Montes, and Montes was forced to give up the ball. So that's what I liked from Ivy. And it was the aggressiveness was there, the energy wasn't. For the lineup that he was in. So I wasn't surprised not to see him again in the fourth, but I also wouldn't have been shocked if JB did put him in for those last few minutes for if something.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was just, first of all, happy for him to be able to get his first start, just for his sake. It's been a long journey for him because a lot of people didn't think he would ever start again for this team. Now I was hoping it wouldn't come at the expense of Cade not playing. I would have liked to see, those two together, him alongside Cade or even alongside Danis tonight in this game with Cade being out, especially would have been his first start. Because the Pistons could have went with Danis at the 1 and kept Jaden on. That was what was telling, is that they still gave him a start. They could have went with Danis at the 1.
Yes.
Right. But they decided to go with Jaden at the 1. That was something that was interesting to me because they didn't have to do that. They weren't forced into doing it. We had another point guard, but maybe they did it to make sure they had some point guard play off the bench. Who knows? But it's just going to be interesting to see how it looks, boss, as far as the lineup goes when Cade returns, because hopefully we finally get a chance to see that lineup that we have been waiting to see of Cade, Jaden, Asar, Stu, and JD. We have still yet to ever see that starting unit, which is crazy to me. So hopefully we get a chance to see it soon.
And after the performance from Stu tonight and the last games, he's got to be a starter now. And Kelster even mentioned it, he's getting into less foul trouble as a starter because he's taking it more seriously. Not that he wasn't ever taking it seriously before, but he knows, it's not that he's starting because, he's starting because they have a guy down. And so he needs to be, smart about his actions. I could see Bruce was getting into his head a little bit. They put on a show tonight. Stu obviously won. But there were quite a few jersey pulls in there. And he's just lucky the refs didn't quick for the whistle tonight. But you could tell. So I was a little worried about that, but even he did smart there. So I think going forward, I would keep Stu in the starting lineup.
Absolutely.
And we talked about it. If that might be the best time to put JI in there. So that for the second half of the season, we have the same starting 5 with that. So
exactly. That's a point that we have been hitting on for some time now. I thought he had a great start. He didn't play as well in the second half, but he didn't play as much in the second half. 4 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and no turnovers in the first 5 minutes. Right? Very under control. He ran the offense very well, made the right play every time, whether it was for himself or for others. Decision-making was really good too, right? Just to kind of go through a few plays. First time down, he made a nice bounce pass to Stu out of the pick and roll for a layup. First play of the game. Next play down, he made a nice dribble pass to create space for Duncan Robinson for a corner 3, right? And that's a big thing. He had a few of like that where he would catch at top of the key and the play is broken, but he would just use his burst, which he's shown his return, to just create a little bit of gravity, to bring a little bit of help as he's getting to the rim and just make a quick pass. And he found guys like Javante, he found Duncan Robinson. So just his ability to be able to get down a hill is still there. And then he found Paul Reed out of pick and roll for another wide open 3 that he knocked down. So he just made good plays under control. And for it to be his first start, I know he didn't play a lot, but he just is showing more and more what I think he'll be able to do for this team, especially when we got K back, right? When there's a lot more offense on the court and JD is playing. He started his first start at point guard without Jalen Duren, without Tobias Harris, without Cade Cunningham, and still play clean.
That's so true. I agree.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So I got to give him credit. And he had a tough floater too on Buzelis, and he got fouled. They didn't call that either.
Yeah. His shots were nice that he was getting. And that's a really great point that you brought up, because I think, again, and we've mentioned this before, and kind of the way that they feed off of each other. If everyone else was just popping off and J.I. had this stat line and played the way he did, I might be like, oh, that wasn't a very good. But it was slow. It was slow on both sides for 3 quarters, or for two and a half, basically, quarters. And then, like I said, we saw him a little bit in the third, and they were sluggish. And tale of 2 halves. He didn't play in the second half, so I don't really know. But I think JB made the right call with his lineups in the fourth. So I'm not mad about it. But like you said, clean. I'm not upset with Ivy's play, and definitely not his start. He definitely helped us keep it close in the first, at least.
For sure. Yeah. Shakir says, I think it's disappointing not letting Ivy play not enough minutes. Mark my words, this is going to come back to hunt them when he goes somewhere else. 15, 20 minutes, you can't get. So, I don't know if the fact that he was starting meant that he was going to get a ton more minutes. I thought he might because of how many he played the first half. He didn't play that much in the second half. I don't know if they're still watching his minutes, because just because he started doesn't mean he's going to play 30, right? But I was hoping to see more of him because I thought what he showed was a lot of positives, on both sides of the ball, especially defensively too.
Yes.
Like, I think he's going to be a really good defender in this league. He may not be a top defender, but he's going to be a very capable, above average defender. Because if you watch this game, like we've seen it all season too, no hunting him out, right? Not giving up a ton of penetration on dribble drives. He wasn't missing assignments. He was a plus defensively.
Yeah.
Like, guys couldn't really score on him, right? There was like one or two plays where you see Herter kind of sneak by him, but other than that, he was staying in front of everybody, having to give the ball up, forcing guys into tough shots. So just defensively, his speed and strength, and then his awareness, his defensive awareness as far as playing team defense was big. I think it's early, but I think we can already see just how he's going to upgrade that starting 2 spot on the defensive side of the ball. Because we've seen at times guys kind of get hunted out, and it really has compromised our defense. And it doesn't happen with him. Right. He did struggle versus someone, but but he also forced into some tough shots too.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very solid defensive performance as well. So I would have liked to see him play more. That was my only gripe, but once again, he may be under restriction still. Yeah,
exactly. That's what Clara just brought up. Seems like his minutes are still being watched. If anything, it's mental. Yeah, could be. But also sometimes, it was a low whistle game, and sometimes whistles help you, get a feel for what you need to do on defense. So, sometimes even you realize you foul a guy and the whistle's not called. That's also just like a pause, some hesitation. So I think it was just the way that the pace of the game at moments we could have seen more of JI. But I've also talked about how he's just growing from like getting back to where he is, but growing. And I think tonight we saw that defensively. He was a good defender, like you brought up, but he just really held it down, and he did his job on both ends in the minutes, except they were pretty bad about getting off on defense, but all of them in the first quarter, they were pretty bad at it. But that goes to everybody.
Yeah, for sure. So I thought he was solid. It wasn't perfect, but once again, it's his first start in over a year. So it's been a long time. So once again, it's still early in the season. It's still we're not even at the midway point yet, but it is. I definitely think it's time for him to start ramping up and getting more opportunities. I think tonight was a good first step. I just hope that when Cade returns, he doesn't go back to the bench, right? Because once again, we want to get off to good starts defensively, and I think just from that side of the ball alone, having him on the court with a Stu and a Cade and an Asar is going to make what we want to do so much easier, which as far as being able to get out and run. And he's one of the fastest guys in the league. Imagine him and Asar in the break. Like he just makes the most sense for that starting group with how we want to play to start. So I was just glad to see him out there. Hopefully he'll be there more permanently in the shooting guard role as opposed to the point guard role. He can play with Cade and the game will be even easier. So
agreed.
So we'll see. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing. And let's check out the poll first. So let's see the poll results on here. So so here we have wow, Stu 85% as far as who gets the belt. Stu 85%, Chaz at 8%, Danis at 5%, and other at 2%. So I think we all agree.
Okay.
I think Stu's gonna get it. I think the fact that somebody made a point earlier that Cade had the belt, so I could see him looking out for a guy like Chaz in there to try to show him some love.
Yeah,
but I don't know what Stu did tonight, man. Like
career high,
both sides. Yeah. We'll get to him.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be the one to get it. But when you guys get news of that, we'll be checking our phone. You guys let us know. But appreciate y'all chiming in, man. We're gonna do this more often with the poll. So
boss, I personally can't see the poll, so I'm gonna need you to voice it.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. All right, so guys, let's move on now to Duncan Robinson. Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson finished with 12 points. 4 for 9 shooting, 4 7 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and a block. Okay. In 23 minutes. What did you see tonight from Duncan Robinson, boss?
Yeah, I mean, 4 of 7. Those are better numbers in terms of threes. I think he did really good there. I think he just showed a lot of effort. He was one of those guys that also had a lot of energy tonight when other guys didn't. In the second, he hit the 3 to untie the game after the Bulls got some momentum. And I heard the crowd. It was great. They were waiting for something because the Bulls went on a little run to tie it up. And then in the third, he got the 3 at the top of the key, but that was all because of ball movement, off the ball movement. He was just running around, setting screens, getting open, and he hit that. So that I just really appreciated from him. And then, of course, like you mentioned, the block and just getting, he mentioned at the halftime interview that they need to get more boards. He only got one, but they were guarding the paint down there, the Bulls. And I know that Duncan, usually gets us 3 or 4 the way that he moves and gets there. So 12 points is that we needed them, and we needed his threes. They were timely again tonight. So I liked what I saw.
I did too. Yeah, he was solid. I mean, we saw it all night that the Bulls were just packing the paint. Like they were forcing us, which is why Chaz Lanier got a chance to play, because we needed some spacers out there. I think Duncan did a good job of just spacing the floor, just being a threat. Just
I'm telling you,
space.
Chaz Lanier was not on their scouting report, so that was the other wrench
the death
that we
piece.
talked about. So because no one guarded him tightly around the perimeter. So
So it was just good having him as a threat.
Yes,
Duncan as a threat tonight out there, and even and Chaz as well. Like, and both of those guys were able to find success because they were packing the paint over and over and over again and trying to force us to beat them in half court with our shooting. So it made sense why the Bulls did that. It was nice to see the Pistons respond. So Duncan was solid. He was solid.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it pushing, guys. Let's go to Asar Thompson. Asar tonight, guys, had 11 points on 5 for 11 shooting, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 8 boards. That led the team. 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Some big time numbers there in 29 minutes. Boss, take off on Asar, backbone of the defense, Tasmanian Thompson tonight.
Yeah, he got boards, and he got tough ones. I mean, he was bending his body in half, like he was flying in. He was being fouled on a few of them. He just held onto the ball no matter what, and I really appreciated that from him. He forced the Buzelis turnover with 20 seconds left in the half, which was nice, just to keep them from tying up the game for getting any momentum. He had that really nice jam off the dish from Reed, and then he had a block on Buzelis towards the end as well. He was a guy, again, I was happy to see him being subbed in the fourth. So, because he was a guy that also played with a lot of energy tonight. 3 steals and 2 blocks. That's just fantastic. And he made, 50%. That's his free throws, 1 of 2. I'll take it.
Just 2. I'm not mad.
Yeah. Some fouls, some turnovers. I do like, we talked about it when he started with Ivy. He kind of was the guy that inbounded the ball to, but then he got rid of it to Ivy at the top of the key, which is something I'd like to see instead of dribbling into the paint and pulling up and not knowing where to go. So I think he did a really good job with that. I thought his decisions were pretty good. 2 turnovers isn't terrible, but I think the boards tonight just really stuck out for me because he was crashing them. And the Bulls, were out rebounding us. And that's why, that was brought up at halftime and what they need to fix. Asar was just not letting that happen when he was on the floor. So I think he was in for the perfect amount of minutes. I'm glad he finished out the game because, he looked like his prime defender again tonight.
Yeah, I think he did too. I did notice that the Pistons had him as a secondary ball handler tonight to kind of help Jaden a little bit in his first start. Once again, that's hard to come in, have not started for so long, and then to do it a little bit out of position. He can play point, but he played shooting guard last year, and that's the future for him. Yeah. So they had Asar just kind of being his kind of safety valve, bringing the ball up at times, just taking a little bit of pressure off so his usage wasn't so high with the basketball in his hands. I did think that was a good idea. I think he kind of did a little bit too much, and it wasn't just him. A lot of guys were doing a little bit, I think, too much offensively, because once again, so much was missing. So it's hard to gauge in game how much you need to compensate for who's missing.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're not going to do enough. You're going to be too passive, and you got to do more. Sometimes you're going to do too much trying to help your team, and you do too much, and now you turn the ball over. I think that was the case tonight with Asar. There were some times when he was just doing a little bit too much with the basketball, right? Yeah. Just trying to make something happen. He drive to the rim, lose the basketball, things like that, which we've seen in the past. I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass tonight just because so many guys were out. It's a big deal when you don't have that consistent lineup that you're used to, and you're being asked on the fly to do more offensively. Well, how much? Everybody had that question, it seemed like on the court, like, okay, what do we do? Even guys like Javante, who doesn't usually turn the ball over, he at times was trying to dribble to the hoop and doing too much. So it's hard when you got so much missing for everybody to balance their offense out just enough. It's going to be mistakes in there. And I think that was kind of the case with the start tonight. But,
and I think some of his drives, that you were talking about were earlier, and then he just kind of, turned into defense and rebounds. But that was also gauging the refs, because there were a few times, he got fouled. So it's also just like, well, I'm going to take this drive and I'm going to try to make it, and hopefully I get the whistle. But there were no whistles either tonight for really either.
Yeah.
So I think that also just played a factor in it. And I mean, he was one of the only guys that got to the line for us. But but I do agree that some of it's a little bit. Sometimes he brings the ball up, and I'm just like, that would be if Devontae was on him, Devontae would take that immediately. You know?
Yeah. And Torch, like it's kind of what we're talking about. Like he says, I just want Asar to take jumpers. He won't and just dribbles into the paint and gets stopped or turns it over. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that too. Like the mid-range jumper, I'd like to see more of from him.
He's got to work.
If he's not going to shoot the 3 ball,
right?
The midi jumper needs to be it when it's there, because his shot's not going to get blocked. They're going to give it to him, so you just got to take that shot for sure. So that's the only thing I would say about Asar. But the turnovers, as far as him trying to do too much, like I said, I'm not going to give him too much flack on that, just because of the situation and circumstance of not having the offense there. It's natural to try to want to do more when you know guys are out. So I'm not going to get on him for that. But that's pretty much all I have for him. I thought he was good in the boards. The extra hustle plays that he always makes, right? The play when Modest got the board and he stuck behind him, got that nice steal, got the pass to Reed. I think you mentioned that for the layup. That was nice. Just the hustle plays, the heads up plays. So yeah, I thought Asar was pretty good. He wasn't great. He had them turnovers, got to get those down for sure. Like we talk about, got to take the open shot when it's there. But aside from that, I have no issue with Asar tonight.
Yeah, same. Again, just really happy to see him, balling out on the boards. I just love when they, just like we said with Ivy, he picked up his defense when his shots were hitting. Like, just as long as you're doing something beneficial on the floor and not just, being stagnant. Before we move on too much, Organic Lindo has a question about Ivy for you.
Deuce, how do you feel about Ivy setting off-ball screens and going to the corner instead of being on ball and people setting screens? Well, here's the thing. I think that's what's going to happen, bro. I think just tonight they had him running at point, right? I think if he'd had Danish Jenkins in the game with him, we would have saw more of that. We would have saw more off-ball movement, but he was on ball tonight. I was kind of confused as to why, for his first start, he would do it playing point guard without another ball handler on the court with him. I was surprised to see Duncan Robinson starting with J.I. I was hoping to see, even if it was Karis LeVert instead, but just somebody who can give you some ball creation, some ball handling, take some pressure off. I know they thought Asar would be the one to do it, and I think he did okay, but I'm not comfortable. When I think secondary ball handler, I'm thinking Jaden, but he played point, and then I'm thinking Danish Jenkins. I'm thinking, not K, he's of course the lead guard, but I'm thinking Karis LeVert, like somebody who you can trust with the basketball to kind of just get things going for you offensively. So to me, it was weird to see Duncan, the one shooting guard on this team who really doesn't have a lot of that, starting with J.I. in his first start out of position. So that was a little bit confusing for me. But I do think Organic that, once he is back at his natural position of off guard, we'll see a lot more off ball movement like we've seen in previous games. It's a good question though.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let's jump now to B-Ball Paul Wall. Tonight, guys, Paul Reed finished with 9 points on 4-10 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 6 boards, 6 assists.
Yeah.
For Paul Reed's second on the team tonight. 1 steal in 26 minutes, boss. Take off on your boy, Paul Reed.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't give him the block on Patrick Williams in the third.
I thought he had one too. I thought they missed some blocks tonight, because I thought J.I. had 1 or 2 blocks too in this game.
I wrote them down, but I guess there's some they've changed the blocks so that they have to be going for a shot. I don't know, but we'll maybe they'll be adjusted. It should be. But we got a B-Ball Paul 3, which I loved, and he banked it. I love bank shots like that, because it looked, for me, I saw that and I was like, that is too hard, too long, that's going off the edge. But he banked it in perfectly. Love to see that. Great defense in the first, just forcing turnovers, getting in passing lanes, being handy, as we know he is. He just, great assists behind the backs. He was seeing the floor so well.
Good passer for a big man.
Yeah, and his shots at the rim, he had a couple, but he had a couple mid-range too. I love the one that he did in the fourth. I mean, his arm just stretched all the way out to make sure that ball got in there with a nice touch. He kind of pulled a Vucevic. That's Vucevic's spot, is that one-handed little touch in. So I think he did great on Vuce as well, just like Stu did. He really, the one guy, their backup, Ulbrich, could not stop Paul Reed. Like, he got
He's kind of buns, bro.
Yeah, well, he had to hold on to him. He had to hold on to him to make sure that Paul Reed could not get that offensive board or tap it back in.
Yeah.
And so that was just nice to see. I love the B-ball Paul effort. I really do. Like, he'd be probably 4th on my list for the belt tonight,
For
just
the
the way
belt?
he played. Yeah.
Let's check those results again.
And then go. Yeah.
Let's check those results again. So we have, okay, holding steady. Stu at 85% for the belt. Chaz at 9. Dana's at 5. And everybody else other at 1. So it looks like, according to what we say here and what we think, looks like Stu is going to get that belt. So y'all keep us tapped in on that. I'm with you, boss. I thought he played great, right? Once again, he was one of those guys who was a box score deceiver tonight, right? He didn't have a ton of points. Only had 9. Solid, right? But once again, he just made plays. He made plays. He had first of all, he had great energy. He's always got great energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But he created a lot of extra possessions on the glass. Even if he didn't secure the offensive rebound, you saw a lot of stay here, right? Just defensive, fouls trying to box him out and keep him out of the paint, and they couldn't. So that was good to see. I thought he also protected the paint well as well. He didn't get a ton of blocks, but the way he was able to bother shots, ultra shots, prevent shots from going up because he was stepping up, things like that. That was big. And you mentioned the passing. The passing was great, man. Yeah, so I love what I saw tonight from Paul Reed, man. He's continuing to show that he can be that third big off the bench. First big off the bench for sure. Third big man.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, that's all I got on him. We'll leave it there, guys, and we will go to the player of the game, the winner of the belt, unofficially. Isaiah Stewart, guys. Beef Stew. Man, what a night. He finished, guys, tonight with 31 points on hold on, get this. 14 for 17 from the field, boss.
That's crazy.
14 for 17 from the
2
field.
2 threes.
2 of 3 on threes. 1 or 2 from the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Did all that in 30 minutes, guys.
Oh my
Boss,
God.
what were your thoughts on the DPOY?
Oh man, beautiful. 14 to 17. I mean, that's incredible. Just to go again with his career high 31. Another reason why I'm glad we pulled it out for him, because when you have a game like that, when one of your teammates is having a game like that, you need to get the win. So I was just super impressed by him there. I mean, consistently scoring over Vucevic in the first. Vucevic had to change his game. Vucevic wasn't getting anything at the rim. He had to, do his little mid-range floater in order to get away from Stu.
Yeah. Yep.
And when he had the big corner 3 when we needed, and then the next play was the one on top of the key. He had that swat on Trey Jones, a huge momentum dunk. The third quarter, he just really kept us in it, because that's when the Bulls went on their run, and then we went on. We just stayed in it. And then his career high was I think, the 31 was off of a slam, a beautiful slam. I think the assist was Jenkins, but probably if it's 1 of 15. But I just admired Stu so much tonight. And I think he stayed out of foul trouble. Yeah, only 2, and both of them were like jersey pulls, and they were back to back. He got those 2 out of the way, and then was like, no more.
Yep.
And just to deliver like that when the Bulls are really trying to keep you out of the paint. Like, he was the only one that could get over Vooch, and then also the threes. He was just feeling it tonight. They could not stop Beef Stew. They couldn't do it. We served it up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the stew was served for sure. Edwards from Brazil says, "Go Pistons from Brazil." Hey man, welcome. Glad to have you here, man. Hopefully we see you again soon. If you have any more comments or anything you want to say to us, let us know. We'll get you up here. As far as what I saw, boss, this was an incredible game. We always see him play pretty well, but tonight was a different level. Yeah. We know he does defensively. We know he's a DPOY candidate. All-NBA defense for sure. But I just want to shout out his improved offense. Yeah. Every year he gets better and better on both sides of the ball. Yes. We saw a huge jump last year defensively, and we're seeing that continue, but now we're seeing it even just as big of a jump offensively. Nobody expected Isaiah Stewart to get 31 points in 30 minutes.
No, that's crazy.
Nobody.
Someone said it early on, but they were just like, all he does is start fights. That's all.
Yeah, I saw that. I see. Yeah, exactly. The narrative just continues to change because he just continues to get better. And he does it consistently, and it was everywhere tonight. It wasn't just like he was 9 for 10 from 3, anything like that, right? But he did it everywhere. Inside, he got it done on the post. His footwork is vastly improved. His finishing around the rim is vastly improved. His patience around the rim is like I would see him in the past when he would catch the ball in the post. Once he gets his 2 seconds, he's rushing because he doesn't want to get called for that 3 seconds. He's got that timer in his head now to know how much time he has, and that's what allows him to be patient. And he just takes his time and makes the play. And he's gotten so much better just finishing around the rim, man. He's taking his time. He's using his strength, his size, and he's using his body to shield off bigger defenders.
Yeah.
Right? He knows how to get into your chest, get you up off your feet so you can't go vertical and get the shot. Like he's just gotten so much better at the little things offensively this year. And this made a huge difference. Like he was one of the guys, boss, visibly one of the guys who you could tell was looking to be more aggressive offensively in the half court, right? When it wasn't there in the transition, you could see him calling for the ball. You see him at the top of the key, working his way to the paint. Like he was just one of those guys like, okay, I know I got to pick it up tonight because Cade's out, JD's out, Tobias is out. I'm going to go help my team offensively. He did that, man, all night long. All night.
Absolutely. And I completely agree. He definitely knew that, the paint game is where it's at. So he's the one to get it done. And just to go off your point about, improving as an offense, I think he has such a great IQ. We've talked, Natalie Kerwin talked about how he watches every game or he's prepared, so prepared. He watches when to time things. His timing on blocks is impeccable. You don't see him getting called for 3 seconds in the lane. That's usually a Duren thing or a Paul Reed thing because they're, just trying to do it. But like he's playing so cleanly and so well. I was seeing all day today. There's something Gobert's having a season high, and they're talking about how he's, needs to be DPOY of the year, but they won't give it to him in his 5. They're like, he's just having a year. Like, oh, he's second in the league in blocks. And I'm like, to who? Or third in the leagues of blocks. And it's like, well, it's behind Wemby and Stu. And then it was like, and second at percentage at the rim, not allowed. I was like, well, second to who?
Right.
So he's making a case for himself. And as a starter, cool. It could be a little better. But I just remember reading about that and being like, I like, he's second and third in some of these categories. And the one above him is Isaiah Stewart.
That's right.
And he's just playing so smart, so intentional. And I'm sure.
Tom?
Yeah. Hi, Tom. What's up?
Again. Give us your take on this game. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, but I just think, as a guy who we know is a hothead, he hasn't gotten a tech in a long time. Yeah. He hasn't gotten, the team in trouble and not in trouble. He never really did, but he's just playing just so smart right now. There's something about him. He's in rhythm. He's in a huge rhythm. He's finding his peak, and tonight was huge. And I think that, we're going to see more of it. So
yeah, we're definitely going to see more of it. Chris made a point here. Here we go. Chris said, beef stew had his potatoes, carrots, and onions, you name it, in this game today.
I love that.
Yeah, he brought it all, man. It was just nice. Yeah. It's nice to see him. Like, he was scoring in all 3 levels. He even had a few shots in the mid-range that were available that he knocked down as well. So, like, Stu getting it done on all 3 levels is something, like I said, nobody really saw it coming even as early as a year ago.
Right.
As a year ago. So just to see him continuing, like I always say, he may not have the highest ceiling in the world. There's a lot of guys that may have a higher ceiling than him, but he becomes a better player because he gets closer to his ceiling than most people do, most players do.
Yes,
so that's a testament to just the work ethic. That doesn't happen without work ethic. So,
and look, he's our longest tenured player, and he's still improving. That just says so much about where
this team is going. Great point. He's the elder statesman, and he's still working on his game. That's infectious, right? Yeah. That sets the tone for your culture.
Yes.
Right? That's why you don't trade a guy like him, like some people were saying just as recent as last year. They had Stu and all these trade packages, right? But once again, patience, time, reps, all that stuff goes into it. So once again, it's just nice to see another homegrown guy, as far as being drafted here, continue to grow his game and be one of the pillars of this team, for sure. Yeah. So my Osier says, doesn't matter coming off the bench for DPOY. I don't think it's off the bench. I think it's just how many minutes you play. That was what made him ineligible last year for all NBA defensive teams.
Barely. He is playing a little bit more this year already.
Yeah.
But like we said, I think, the way what he's done tonight just goes to show that he should be in the starting lineup, because the 2 big lineup is working. And because, again, they even tried to stop our paint game, but both Paul Reed and Stu were able to break that at times.
Yep. I love this message. Stu doesn't have the highest ceiling in the world, but he's willing to build it. Right. It doesn't matter. He's like, okay, this is the hand I'm dealt. And it's crazy even saying that, because he's a freak athlete compared to everybody else, right? Yes. But on NBA standards, like, okay, I don't have all these other natural gifts, but okay, I'm gonna work with the hand I'm dealt and make the best out of it. And he's one of the best defensive players in the league without a question about it. So once again, just shows that work ethic that he's had, man. It's just incredible to see. I love how he just kind of leads by example in that department.
Yeah,
and it really does rub off. Go ahead.
Clifton has this, and I didn't see it, so I didn't address it. But did y'all address Ivy not standing up off the bench at the end? Am I tripping and stirring the pot?
I didn't see that. At what point did that happen? I didn't see that at all.
I did see someone say that Ivy wasn't happy early on. If Ivy's not happy, it's with himself. It's not with the team.
I don't understand what the conversation is. at this point.
Yeah.
This is his first start of the year,
Mhm.
first start since last year. I don't really know what the conversation or dialogue would even be after
Right.
one game and him in the lineup as a starter without Cade Cunningham along with him. Or
Yeah,
Jaden, like so many guys were not even available to even really give a fair evaluation on how he looked tonight in that
Mhm.
spot.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too. But again, I didn't see it, so I can't really address it. So I don't think it's anything malicious. Ivy's not that kind of person. I just think if
Right.
he was upset for some reason, I think he's just because he has high standards for himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So I'm not reading anything into that at
Yeah.
all, to be honest. I'm just gonna continue to let the process play out. Right. He's about 20 games in, I think now. So yeah, let's just wait and see how he looks when we have our full complement of players and just kind of go from there. But I'm not judging anything off tonight. I still thought he played well tonight, even despite that. So he
right.
contributed to
Yeah.
the win. So
Mhm.
we'll leave it there, guys. Anything else on Stu, boss?
No, just congratulations, Stu, on your career high. That was in a game. It was earned. It was earned.
For
So,
sure.
pulled us through it.
Abraham says Stu in the lineup is a game changer. I've been right there with you, bro. I've been right there with you, man. Right, it's just as far as style of play. I love Tobias Harris and what he brings, but fit wise, Stu just made so much more sense to me. Y'all probably tired of me saying that. I've been saying it since the beginning of the year, so y'all probably sick of hearing it. But this is why.
Yeah.
This is why. And the great thing is he's showing when given extensive minutes in the starting lineup that he's not just a defensive player.
Yeah.
Right. We know that's what we want to be first, defense first, and he's showing he can be a decoy. But offensively, he's showing you it may not be as much drop off as we may have thought with
Mhm.
him there, because that was kind of the thing we were saying, boss. Is like, okay, bring him and J.I. back together
Right.
to start. That way, if you lose Tobias offense, you still can kind of get a lot of that back with Jaden on the court as well as another ball handler. But
Mhm.
now it's like when he's getting 31 points like this, even though it's not what he's going to average or anything like that, he's still showing you that he can still be an offensive weapon along with those other guys. It's not like he's going to be just somebody who's just out there for defensive purposes. So
Yeah.
when you get games like this, it gives me even more confidence. Yeah, he can go ahead and start now at this point. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I
Along with
agree.
Cade and yeah, for sure.
And
For sure. So go ahead.
again, just the pace of the game was weird overall. So it's
Yeah.
just I don't like what he brought last game was huge, and it's just getting and like you said, if he's out there with Cade, I think it's a little better. He's also been, shifted to the shooting guard role since last season and since before his injury. So the point guard, like you said, I mean, he's something we know he can do because he's done it for us when Cade was injured in his rookie year. But yeah, I think that he is just I think he did great for being thrown into the position tonight, being not only his first start in over a year, but also not as a shooting guard, but as the point.
Right, for sure. I saw somebody, Devon says, J.I. has 3 kids. He could be not smiling over it. Man, as somebody who's got 2, I agree with that. Sometimes people are like, why you look so mad, bro? I'm like, what you mean? I'm straight. He's like, let me fix my face. So I know what that's like. I know what that's like as well. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get to some reserves. Boss, let's start with the man of the hour as far as the bench is concerned, in my opinion.
Okay.
Dennis Jenkins, man. Dennis Jenkins tonight in this game was incredible. And not even just from a box score standpoint, but we'll get to that. So tonight, guys, and this is why I say that, he only had 2 points. Only had 2 points, right? He didn't shoot well. 1 for 8 overall. 0 for 3 from 3, right? So he couldn't throw it in the ocean. 6 rebounds, 15 assists to 1 turnover.
That's great.
15 assists to 1 turnover.
That is insane.
We had 8 for the game. Heisenberg shouted that out. He was a big part of why.
Fantastic.
1 turnover to 15 assists, 1 steal in 28 minutes. So 2 points. You might see the beginning of the stat line say 2 points, 1 of 8 overall, 0 of 3 from 3 in 28 minutes. Why was he playing so many minutes?
Yeah.
Like we always say, boss, if you're not doing it somewhere, you can be doing it somewhere else.
Yes.
Impact wise. So I will let you take off on Tank and let us know what you saw.
Well, first of all, I think they shorted him a steal because I have him having a steal in the second and in the fourth. Maybe again with deflections and someone picked it up. Who knows? But yeah, just great on defense. Again, 1 of 8. He was one of the guys that like his shot would just go down. Like it usually got in the area, but just like would not sink. But the 15 assists is nuts. I can't even. My favorite one was the one where he drew the entire. It was like really short shot clock. He threw the entire defense down to him, and he did like a no-look hook over. I thought it was going to. I think Ron was there, but nope. It went over Ron's head to Chaz Lanier, who's drained a 3.
He had a couple of them like that.
And I mean, that's the Cruz connection a little bit, but that's also just Danis being Danis and knowing where people are. Yeah, like you said, he had a couple like that where I was like, where is that going? You know, because
Yep.
they went over other guys because he just saw
Yep.
that he saw where it was open. And again, not scoring. So what he did very smartly was make the defense come to him. And even, you know, they know he was in the scouting report for sure because he only got 2 points. So why are they coming to him? Because he's forcing them to, because he is a threat on offense with shooting, and he was getting into the paint where they were trying to all collapse, getting to the right people. Just fantastic. I mean, he had that great lob to Stu. That was Stu's slam and then he did it again. Then he did it again the next play. And then, the insane assist to Chaz for a 3. Just, I mean, what can you say about just fantastic passing, great defense. You know, I think he did great on Ayo and he did great on Mates. Just some of these guys that can really move. Great on Trey Jones. And then, just like you said earlier, just because he wasn't scoring, he just switched it up. It's what he can do. Everyone was saying earlier, General Jenkins.
I like that.
Yeah,
General
Jenkins. I mean, there's so many. There's so many nicknames you can call him. You know, Jenkins Sanity and that. But I like General Jenkins.
I'm gonna let Vince live on that one. That's Vince's. That's Vince card. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I just love the General one because that's exactly what he was tonight.
Facts.
With
yeah, for sure, guys. If anybody had any doubt about why Boss and I have been saying that Dennis Jenkins needed to be on this team, tonight showed why. With Cade Cunningham out, this is why.
Yeah.
Mill says he has become the player with the most assists in a single game off the bench since Smith. Yes, that was in 2017, guys. So it's been 8-9 years since we had a guy off the bench give us that many assists.
Yes.
Right. And once again, this is why you have him on your team.
Yeah.
Because, right, Clara, he is a very smart point guard. Exactly. Other than Cade, he is the only natural point guard on your team. We can't always expect Cade to be available every single game. There's going to be injuries. It's going to be games where he needs rest.
Yeah.
All these things happen. We know more than anybody how injuries can affect your team.
Yeah.
So you can't always allow on Cade to be available. And when he's not, who do you go to? This is why you go to Jana Jenkins. Like you mentioned, boss, he's a floor general. General Jenkins. He sets guys up. And he showed that even when he's not scoring, because he was one of the guys I meant when I said a lot of guys miss shots they usually make. He has some shots point blank at the rim that he usually makes.
Yeah, exactly.
Shots open that he usually knocks down. Wasn't happening. But he adjusted his game and said, okay, how can I still be impactful in this game? He didn't keep shooting the ball.
No.
Right? He's a point guard. He's going to look to get his other guys involved. And that's what he did tonight. 15 assists to 1 turnover. But y'all know I'm the assist turnover ratio king. This is why I like his game so much. He takes care of the ball.
Yes.
Like, even if he didn't have, even if he just had 5 and 1, that's still, he's taking care of the ball. But 15 and 1, bro, that's why I'm always like this when he's got the ball.
Yeah, I know.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. Monster says, do we consider Jenkins? We just talked about this last show.
Yeah.
I personally do.
Yeah.
Personally, because he's got so many ways. He can affect the game in so many different ways. You mentioned the defense. Somebody mentioned him skying in and grabbing rebounds.
Yep.
Right? Just doing everything. He does whatever is needed at the point guard spot that you want to see. So if he's having an off night, he can still be one of the best players in the game because he has so many ways of hurting you.
Yeah, he's definitely like I said, just to sum it up last time, he's definitely better for this squad this year. And Schroeder's biggest impact last year was giving us that presence to get us to the playoffs and in the playoffs. And that's just something that, is super valuable. But Danis with this group, especially since so many of them have played in the G League with him because we have such a deep bench. I do consider him the upgrade. Just he fits what we want to do more this year in terms of getting out fast and the crazy defense. I mean, Schroeder is very smart, but I love Danis with this squad.
Yeah, like he doesn't take bad shots either. That was my only knock on Schroeder last year. Sometimes you see him do some step back air ball threes. Like, come on, bro, we need that shot. But I just love he's so under control. He's so under control, and you can trust him to make the right play. The offense was really bogged down early in that third quarter. There was even before we started getting out and running and getting turnovers. Even in the half court, he was the sole guy, like off the one-on-one, just getting penetration and finding guys in the half court. He was the only guy who was doing that for us. Like the whip around pass you mentioned earlier, the few that he had, the guys like Chaz Lanier, were all off penetration off his own dribble.
Yeah,
he's got the speed to be able to get by his guy, and he's crafty enough to be able to draw in defenders and he's got great vision. So he's going to find you if you're open. He does everything you want him to do
Yes.
as a point guard.
Yeah.
There's nothing lacking in his game at
Yep.
all. Good defender, can score the ball, good shooter, good decision maker, great leader.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
does everything.
Yeah.
He literally does everything.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, he can play off ball too if you need him to.
Yep.
So it's like, there's no way that anybody at this point, boss, is not on the train with us as far as why we wanted him to stay on this team, to play
Exactly.
more than just the G League, but
Yeah.
to be an NBA player. And he's shown he could be a starter for an NBA team. The way
Yeah.
he's looking now. So
That was
hopefully he still stays here because that's not
Mhm.
what we want. But
That's
he has
my-
that ability for sure. Go ahead, boss.
That's my biggest fear, is just because there's a few teams out there that are really looking for a true point guard, like Minnesota, the
Yeah.
Blazers, because they have Lillard, but he's not coming back this season, And so that was my biggest fear, is that he's, he obviously has interest. And again, like I said, the Bulls definitely did their scouting report on him. He didn't get any easy shots, and he wasn't making them. I saw him, he drained the 3 after a whistle. I was like, oh, maybe that will get him hot. But then he had on a low clock, had to do a longer one, and that one I think went off the front of the rim, and I was like, okay. But again, I don't care. He did 15 assists and everything else right, so I don't care at all.
That's just really impressive to me though, that
Mhm.
he could have such a bad shooting night
Yeah.
and have such a high assist total.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys
Like
will shoot their team out of the game because they're trying to get themselves going offensively.
LaMelo Ball.
Right. Right. No, that's a great example. That's a
Yeah.
great example. You're trying to help your team, but you're doing too much because you're hurting them with the bad shot selection and looking guys off. Like he knows how to keep guys engaged.
Mhm.
He knows how to keep guys engaged. That's important, man. Like so.
Jalen Brunson, 0.
Say it again.
Jalen Brunson had 0 assists.
Brunson had 0 last game on
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah, that's insane. So for us to be a defensive team and to not have a ton of offense off the bench,
Mhm.
like he's going to make sure that you're getting put in position to score.
Yeah.
He knows his personnel, like we all say, he knows his personnel. He knows the weaknesses of these guys, knows their strengths. So if he sees Chaz open, he's going to find him. He sees Stu under the rim, he's going to find him. He sees Azar cutting or Ron cutting, he's going to find him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows how to make the right pass and who to make it to, depending on where they are on the floor, based on their weaknesses. Like he's just a smart player, man. He's extremely smart.
And also you can see he whips the passes again, which is what I love about him. But you can see him barking instructions out there too. You see him talking, you see him pointing, but he's doing it in a way, it's not giving away anything to the defense. And what's crazy is that he has a connection, or he's saying something. I want to know the communication with the team out there, to the point of I thought he overthrew a pass to a player. Yeah. But it was actually to the right player. Like what is the communication out there for them to know that, or do they just trust, that he's making the right play? Because it, like you said, it happened a couple times where it just went over someone's head. I was like, oh, he was way off with that. But then I saw, another guy cut and catch it and shoot it and make it. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, you definitely run that, and you trust it's going where it's supposed to go. Like he makes that skip pass a lot, where it looks like he may be going to a roller in the short roll, but he's actually, or in the roll, but he's actually hitting the corner.
Yeah.
Right. Though they run that kind of stuff in practice, but the thing is, you trust that he's going to make that right pass because he's shown he can do it.
It's kind of
crazy.
Not
a high turnover guy.
Him and Kate kind of have signatures in the way that they play as point guards, and they're different, but both so good at what they do.
Yeah, and that makes it hard to defend against because you got 2 totally different styles coming in the game.
Yeah,
just as impactful with how they do it.
Yeah,
love it. Great game from DJ, man. He has, if he hadn't already, he's definitely solidified his spot on his team. That contract will be coming soon. I can pretty much, I won't say guarantee, but I've got full confidence that contract is coming.
Yeah.
Clifton says, what did Clifton say?
How was that? The moment JB and Danis was funny.
Okay, yeah. So that was funny. I think that did you see that play? Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
He grabbed his face. I think that happened because it's funny because Danis, he was trying to push the pace. He wants to push the pace every opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. The only problem was Javonte Green lost his shoe.
Yeah.
So they were trying to get a timeout. It was like a minute of game time that had went by without a shoe, and he's trying to still play, limping around.
Yeah.
The coach is like, bro, call the timeout.
Yeah.
And then he's like, bro, I'm pushing the ball. What you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like mixed signals, coach. You're always on the sideline saying, go, go, go. And
right, exactly.
For him. I mean, Danis is so zoned in, and he was just on defense, I think. And then he got the ball. He probably just didn't even realize that Javonte lost his shoe, honestly. Because he's just pretty locked in, or maybe he just didn't hit. But yeah, it was just just took a few more seconds off the clock by not calling timeout immediately, but it was okay. Like you said, it was funny. And I think, We just saw the JB hug Cade the other day, which is like a funny also mistake stuff. It's just showing the rapport. And that also made me feel confident that like, you know, we were going to grind this out and win because they're feeling comfortable. They're not feeling at ease. No one's getting yelled at. No one's getting angry, except, you know, JB did have his angry dad face on.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take off about it, but it was because of missed assignments and some defense, which happened in the end of the first and then the start of the third.
It looks to me like he's like, all right, guys, it's time for us to advance to a different level of basketball now.
Yeah,
it's like his standard for what he's going to not trip about has changed.
Yes,
he's starting to focus more on the things now that they need to do to get to that next level.
We're halfway.
Like, we didn't see him usually barking like this early in the season. The last couple games now, we've seen him barking at guys and calling quick timeouts and got the stank face on because of one missed assignment after they have played pretty solid up to that point. That's what's telling to me is that you see them play solid, play good basketball. One missed assignment, he's calling. He's like, "No, what are we doing? Like, we should not be making these mistakes anymore." I love that.
Yep.
Because it's like he understands. Okay, we got to continue to get better. We can't, you know, regress and have these lapses. We got to do it at a high intensity mentally for 48 minutes. So I like when I see him when we have the lead. Like when we're playing pretty solid. Yeah. One mistake and he ain't playing.
That's what I like. I told you, I said that on the pod. I love that. That's what I liked about Larry Brown because he would hold guys accountable for things. And just like Chuck said too, it's a great point. Every player from Cade down wants to be coached, and that is not the norm in today's sports world. Yeah, and I think some of the young guys coming into the league, it's kind of refreshing. I think that a lot of them do want to grow, and they have a lot of energy. And I just really like some of the young group. But I totally agree with that. These guys, I mean, including Cade, they want coach to make them better. That's why they're thriving. And that's why, you know, he can call those timeouts and know that those guys aren't going to make that mistake again. Because the second timeout when he was mad, it wasn't because of a Ron misassignment. It was because no one was getting back. Like, it was different reasons. But then they made up for it. So, and you know that that's what he's going to require, or else he will sit you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Lindo, like, it's like nitpick time. Like, if we want to get to that next level of being a championship team, you can't have the mistakes that hurt you. You can't be shooting yourself in the foot. Especially with things that you can tell they've already worked on. Because some of the things, we'll get to it in a minute, but some of the things he was upset about are things we've seen players visibly barking at their teammates about, right? So it's like, we went through this. We shouldn't be having these same lapses if we're going to try to get to that next level. So I just love that he is aware of that. Like, because it seemed like the beginning of the year, even last year, he's like, all right, let me show these guys I support them. Let me show these guys that I'm willing to, you know, build with them and show them that we can do this together through the good and bad. Now we're the best team in the East. So now it's like, okay, we've shown what we can do to this level. Now we got to kick it up a notch. If we want to stay here and continue to elevate, we can't keep doing this. So I just like how he's continuing to raise the bar and push the limit on these guys and not allow them to rest on their laurels or to regress or to have
complacency.
No complacency. That's what I love about Coach. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think it's a sign going towards also just like buckling down and the continuity of it. Like, again, I think he played 10 people in the first, maybe 9 with the injuries, but I think it is just a sign that he's just like, okay, like, who's going to step up and take the moment? Like, who can I trust on to, you know, work well together, which again, we'll get to it later, but like the finishing lineup tonight, I just really admired JV for doing it that way because I had my concerns about low energy and guys getting, you know, tired and having to sub guys in that weren't doing it for us, and he just did the exact right moves. So
yeah, for sure. I totally agree. Coach is doing a great job. I want to get this really quickly, boss. Philip says, tell me why this lineup wouldn't work. Jenkins, Cade, Sasser. Asar, my bad. Jenkins, Cade, Asar, Stu, and Duran, plus now the bench lineup better defensively, offensively. The only thing with that, I do like Cade and Jenkins together. They look really good together. I ain't gonna lie, just having those two ball handlers on the court. But that's the problem, is that you got both of your point guards, your point guards on this at the same time.
Yeah.
So unless you're going to stagger and rely on one of those guys to keep playing when one sits down, that could be a problem. But what if they both kind of get in foul trouble? Now you kind of got another issue. I like maybe in spots at times playing Cade with Jenkins for a few minutes here and there. Yeah. But I like it. I like having J.I. on the court with a Danis Jenkins. I like having, you know, J.I. on the court with a Cade. I like having Karras, if you're going to have him play, on the court with a Cade or a Jenkins. Just having a ball handler on the court at all times who is a pure point, who can
Yeah.
set things up and just set the offense up for you, I think is important. I do think that's interesting to look at, though. What do you thought?
Yeah, and like you said, we've seen it a couple times already. I think against the Heat was when Cade and Jenkins kind of closed out the game together. Yep. So we've seen it when they're offensively hitting it. But like you mentioned earlier, for Cade to come in and do his stuff, and then him go out and Jenkins come in and do different stuff, but in still a really, good way and still positive. And, that's a threat to other teams, to the teams that we're playing. That's, you're not going to get the same style of play with both of them out there, but you are going to get results, and you're going to get ball movement, and you are going to get scoring. You're going to get defense. So they're very similar with their differences, and those differences are both their strengths. So,
yep. Well said. My dog Juan was back in the building tonight. He sent it to the group chat, said that he was back in the building, said, got tight in the third. Then coach put a pack of nasty dogs in the game. And that's what changed the game, bro. Mm-hmm. That's what changed the game. We said it before, just where the pitch is going to be able to turn enough defense into enough offense. And that's really when the game, they put it out of reach, was when they started turning the ball over, getting turnovers and getting out in transition. So I'm glad you got a chance to see it up close. I'm sure you saw the same thing. The half-court offense struggled, right? But once they were able to not rely on that, outside of Dennis Jenkins, and just really push the ball after creating turnovers, was when the game switched. So yeah, man, shout out to you, bro, as always, man. Appreciate you showing up as always. Anything else you have on Dennis Jenkins in this game, boss?
Nope. Just again, congrats to Jenkins on the 15 assist game. I mean, he's just coming out here and doing incredible things for this team, breaking some records. So for
sure. Yeah, good stuff, man. Really happy for him. And shout out to Jeremy Hart, Coach Hart, who's been with him since the beginning. Doing amazing work, bro, for sure. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing. Let's go now to Karis LeVert, boss, who returned tonight. I think he missed his last 3 games, so he returned tonight for this game with that left knee issue. 5 points he had tonight, guys, on 2 of 4 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 blocks in 12 minutes. Take off on Karis, boss.
Yeah, I mean, he came in and he, missed a shot, and then he had a bad turnover. But I thought his defense was really good. He had a nice assist to Stu. I thought he was reading it very well. He had the block on Terry that forced the turnover because it went out of bounds off of Jalen Terry. Is that his name?
I'm not sure what his first name
is. Jason Terry.
Jason Terry's old throwback.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I wanted to say. I was like, Jalen.
Right, had a son or something. He must have going on.
He had that. And then, my criticism of him, like 12 minutes, that's, low. And he, again, coach didn't rely on him in clutch moments, stuff that, has been criticism of him in the past. But when we did need him to step up, he did. He got that nice breakaway layup. He got past the defense. Then he hit that big 3 at the end of the third. And then, and so I think that, he did what was asked of him. He stepped up in the big moment, which is what we've been waiting for. Because like we've talked about, he'll be good when he comes in and then, kind of fade. And we need his, like what we needed from him tonight is what we got from him, I think. Some mistakes, but so did everyone else. And I mean, I think that we still would have, like, he was impactful. I think we still would have pulled it out without him, but I'm just very grateful for his little 5-point run at the end of the third to help us cut it to 1. And for his defense, again, the 2 blocks, and again, 3 assists isn't even the one turnover was pretty blatant one. But like I said, I noticed his assist. He was reading it really well, and he was staying in front of the guys. So I think he did good on D for sure.
I thought he was solid. I mean, he didn't play a lot.
Right.
Like one thing I'm going to be consistent with, guys, is if you don't play a lot of minutes, I'm not going to be critical.
Yeah.
Unless the reason you didn't play a lot was because you were playing bad. Right. But if you're just not playing a lot of minutes, I'm not going to be like, he only had 5 points and he played 12 minutes, bro. Like 5 points, 4 shots. He made a 3 out of, made 1 out of 3 threes. 3 assists, 1 turnover is good. 2 blocks, like that's pretty good in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Now I don't know. My thing is, how is JB going to balance all these guys? Because we've seen the last few games, we look pretty good with the guys who were available. So I'm going to be just curious to see how he's going to balance this rotation, because I liked what I saw these last few games. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, that's the whole point, is like people are like, I hope he doesn't steal minutes. Tonight, LeVert didn't steal anyone's minutes. The guys that we were worried about him stealing minutes from played their minutes. So I think that's why I can't, I think that's what most people were worried about, because that's kind of how JB's been running it. But obviously, we, especially with some of the rotations he's had lately, JB has also seen something click in these guys. And, he's seen something, he sees stuff that we don't see at practice. like, again, he was smart enough to put in Chaz Lanier when we needed scoring. So he's seeing things that we're not. And I think that, but he's also seeing the things that we are, that some of these guys are really clicking on the floor together. But again, like LeVert did make some big defensive plays, and his offense came when we needed it most. It was timely tonight. And so that I appreciate from him. Like you said, just solid 12 minutes. So
it's going to be interesting though, because once again, like we saw how these guys looked the last few games, and that was without, the emergence of Chaz Lanier tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, and Chaz showed me some things that, I'm not saying we should force anything, but I think he's showing that if we need him, he can come in and play like he's, a young vet.
Right.
Just the way he plays the game and how he understands and processes the game and knock down shot. We'll get to him later, but yeah, exactly. Like that's it's a conundrum. I don't know how he's going to figure that out. Is it via trade? Is it to clear up some space there? I don't know. We are guard heavy.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of guards who have ability to make things happen for this team, and you can't play everybody.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a consistent rotation for the playoffs, as we're approaching the playoffs in a few months, you got to get that rotation tight.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not going to come playing all these guys 10 minutes a game or anything like that. So I'm very curious, boss, to see how these next couple weeks and months kind of play out, to see who's going to be the guy to really grab those minutes, those backup guard minutes for sure.
Absolutely. And like that Karis LeVert turnover came before he immediately made up for with that layup and those big threes. And then we didn't see him again. So I think that was the whole thing of like JB being like, okay, like, thank you for that. But like the turnovers we can't afford, and I know that, putting Danis back in, even like Sasser, I'd be like, they won't do that, to that extent. So like you said, and like we mentioned earlier, I think it is all this little bit, the critiquing of little things, all this stuff. It's all for the big picture now, because we've had a lot of time for guys to adjust. Some guys are still adjusting, that deserve it. Like Ivy, coming back later still, this was his first start in a while. There are some guys you can give some leniency to. Otherwise, it's time to buckle down and lock in. Like you've seen enough consistency from a lot of these guys that you're like, this is how it should be every game. So
and that's where I'm at. Like that's kind of like why I'm never happy to see anybody hurt, but I just like how it looks when you're kind of forced to play less guys.
It helps because I mean,
just to get clarity.
How do you do these? Because I mean, some of these guys, definitely our guys, they want to play. They want to be involved in play. And JB wants to give them those minutes. So I think he is starting to, again, people have some criticism about putting in certain guys at times. We've had it about Duncan. People have had it about LeVert, about like, why is he in at this time? I think he's starting to, figure out what really meshes. And these past few games, coach has coached. He's out. He's brought it. And these guys, just happy to contribute. I think they want to contribute, but they're just happy to get the dub if they can't. So
yeah, and I'm seeing our customary Trey Murphy comments in here, boss. I think I may have started something when I mentioned him a few months back about how good of a player I thought he was. But I'm seeing a lot of questions again. Y'all know we don't dodge no smoke. Phantom Darkness is saying, do you still go out and trade at the trade deadline and try to trade Murphy? And then somebody else had another comment, said, man, Trey Murphy and Herb Jones are available. And then Kevin says TM3 25-8 makes him legit talent contenders. Like, honestly, I don't think any of you guys are wrong.
Nope.
Like I really don't. And I don't like talking about, trade scenarios, especially when we're winning like this.
Right.
Like I hate talking about trades after wins.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to really do it. It feels like you're getting a little bit greedy. We do know, there were trades that were made in previous regimes that put us over the top. So I do think it's a fair conversation if you think you're trying to get to that next level. And I do think that, if it doesn't cost us too much, if it's not, gutting our core or our future of this team, definitely.
Yeah.
We just watched him last night, record a career high 40 points.
Yeah.
Like 55, 60%.
Well, I think that's why it's fair to talk about tonight, because everybody noticed the offensive struggles. So I think that's fair to talk about that because this has been a recurring theme no matter in a few games, like who's the other scorer. So obviously Trey Murphy could fill that role, and I think he'd be great at the 4, but I'm definitely not going to be the judge of what the right price is for him. Because we don't know. We don't know what the Pelicans want. We don't know what Trajan is willing to give up. And like I said, especially with the Schroeder trade, or the Schroeder signing and stuff like that, like I have no reason not to trust Trajan. So it gets us excited because it would be cool. But I'm also, I think, Trajan said they're not going to make a big splash. So it has to be for the right price.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it, guys.
Yeah.
We know we've talked about it a little bit. So, as things get closer to the deadline, we'll keep our eye on it. And if anything happens or transpires, we'll talk about it more. Phantom says he did score 42 against the Lakers. That might be why the conversations are coming. Yeah. 100%. They're definitely warranted. So we'll leave it there, guys. Boss, let's move on now to Ron Holland.
Okay.
Ron Holland tonight, guys, finished with 11 points, 5 for 11 shooting, 103 from 3, 5 boards, 1 block in 26 minutes. Take off.
His one block was that chase down block on Herder, which I just loved.
You don't like Herder. You are not a Herder fan at all.
No, I'm not.
Are you?
I'm not. I just think it's crazy because this guy, if I was Herder and they got me for Levine, the Kings, the Bulls traded away 2 of their best franchise guys ever, Levine and DeRozan for Herder, I'd have an ego. And then he's just not a good shooter. I don't know. There's something about Herder. I think he's one of those guys that has to shoot to get into a rhythm, and he'll shoot even when he's not making it, and he's detrimental. So that's my thoughts on Herder. But anyways, he's not on our team, so it's fine. I just love that it did result in a 3 because it I think just bounced out to someone out there, but just appreciated that effort from Ron. He had the fourth quarter after we were coming back. Karis got us back within 1 in the third. You're like, oh gosh, here we go. Ron started it off by hitting that 3 on the first possession.
Yep.
A 3-pointer. I love it. And he took a couple more. But he had that, and then that big drive and dunk in the fourth as well. I think the play that comes to mind was the one in the third, though, where it was like Ron took a really tough shot at the rim and it went in. And then Devontae Green got a steal on the next possession in a bucket. And then Stu blocked on Trey Jones. Like when we stack stuff like that, it kind of gets us going. And that was in the third. Yeah. So I think that just, got Ron back into it. I mean, he's always into it, but it got everyone back into it to finish the game out strong. And then his shooting and his defense was just incredible again in the fourth. So, and he, him and Matas, know each other. They play on the same team together. So that was a fun matchup, seeing them against each other. I think they both scored on each other at least once. Otherwise, they made it hard because they know each other's games. So I was excited to see that matchup too. 11 points and 5 rebounds in 26 minutes. That's great. And a block. Like that's exactly a stat line I love from Ron. Just his defense, it doesn't show on the box score, but he got it, especially that 3 in the fourth. He got it going for us. To finish out this game with the energy. So
that's what it was. That period between the third and fourth quarter, right, was when the Pistons really begin to take off and get back to their identity. Because we know Ron Holland is an identity player when it comes to this team. Kevin says Herder is the exact. Oh, you're gonna love this. Herder is the exact mold of a player we don't want on the Pistons.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say like he's just. I don't see him. He would be someone I'd be like, why? Even Dunk has more dog in him. So.
Yeah, I liked him in Sacramento. He was solid there, but he's been kind of buns since he's been here. Yeah, organic. Yeah, that's always fun to watch. Did y'all see when he went up over the top of Buzelis and grabbed that board? He was behind him and went up with that wingspan and little hops and grabbed it. That was nice to see. It's nice to see them go at it because they've been talking about how they're gonna dunk on each other since like the beginning of last year. So they kind of get up a little bit more. Yeah, Ron had that whole. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah, like the energy was great. Yeah. I think guys, we mentioned it earlier. He was the reason that JB caught that timeout. Yeah. Early in the game, right? Because there was a dribble drive penetration the Pistons allowed, and Stu came over to help. And I think he either altered the shot or blocked the shot, but Ron was there under the hoop. Ron was supposed to crash the glass and help Stu help the helper, like we always talk about, and grab the rebound, right? And it looked like Ron was expecting Stu to do both. Like get the block or block it to him or get the block and the rebound. And he kind of relied on Stu a little bit too much. And he kind of just stood there instead of attacking the basketball. And that allowed them to get the offensive rebound and get the bucket. And that was when we saw immediately. Yep. And once again, I always say, guys, whenever you see that happen, when Stu gets a block and there's no help side there to help him, he gets annoyed. He like takes the basketball, slams it on the floor, and you could just see his whole countenance drop. It happened again tonight, right, on that play. And coach saw it too. because he knows how hard Stu was working to protect that paint. That's why Stu only had 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that's protecting the paint. So you can't expect him to be a pogo stick, get the block, and then turn around and get the rebound. Like, you got to be there for him. And I think that one was on Ron. So that's the play that we've seen JD get on Asar about when they were barking at each other, because Asar hadn't come over to slide and grab the board or help box out, right? So those are the things, and that was early in the season. So I think that's why JB was upset. Like, we've already talked about this, right? So, it's always a learning thing but that was the only knock on Ron, was just he's got to attack the glass just a little bit more, especially when Stu was the only one in the paint trying to, alter knock away shots. But aside from that, I thought Ron was really good. His handle is very deceptive. I said it before, like in tight spaces, it looks like the ball might get swiped, but he protects it and he crosses over with that in the box, and he's able to a nice finish off the glass. Like, he's a great finisher, and his ball handling, boss, is like, he continues to impress me with his ball handling just off the catch.
I mean, his touch is just phenomenal. Like, we've seen it. It's almost every drive to the, like, and this is, this has been brought up by Kelser. This has been brought up by multiple people, even, in the draft. Like, he looks like he's out of control, but he just, the way he finishes it, he gets it in. But that's, like, in order to do that, you have to take care of the ball, like, it throws people off. And so I completely agree. And I think that that's something that he's only just going to improve on as well, is just ball handling. I could definitely see him being, they do trust him to bring it up every now and then. Like, he did get a rebound tonight, and Jenkins was right there, and Ron was like, nah, I'll get it. So they do trust him enough to do that. And then that's just room to improve. That's scary.
For sure. Scary. He's still, he has a lot of room to grow. It's his second year in the league. I like what Organic says here. Good defense is low-key a sign of a good brotherhood. I got your back. You better have mine. That 100%, bro. 100%. Because if you do your job and I do my job and he does his job, there won't be any breakdowns. That requires trust, though. Like, Stu wants to have that trust that when I go up and defend, I'm not also going to have to try to grab the rebound as well. Because that can make him tentative to go and try to block the shot, because he's thinking, let me make sure if they miss, I can grab the rebound. So it's just, everybody does their job. That is a great point, Organic. It's all about having that trust in your brother alongside you in the front line to do their job, because you can't do everything. You have to rely on your guys to help you. So that's what Stu wants. And that's why he's like, if I'm going to go so hard protecting the paint, I need y'all to go just as hard to make sure we finish the possession. Right. So that's why the frustration is there. But I think it was a good teaching moment, because it's not ever really a thing with Ron where he's just not giving effort. It's just more so an awareness thing that he has to be aware of. You got to play, because he's more so like he's a wing. He's a 3, but sometimes we need him to play bigger, right? Yeah. And he's shown he can. Like, he gets in the glass, he's shown he can do it. So now it's just a matter of continuously doing it consistently instead of leaking out. Sometimes just secure the rebound first, help your brother out, and then you can go push, because we know you can board and push. So
absolutely. I just wanted to mention too, the Knicks did beat the Clippers tonight, which ended their win streak, the Clippers win streak, which I'm okay with since we play them on Saturday. And the Nuggets beat the Celtics. So they probably switched second and third again. But
underman Nuggets won again.
Underman Nuggets, I did not trust them like I trust the Pistons bench, and they're proving to be kind of like the Pistons depth. They're being reliable. It's fun.
This isn't news to you, but I said beginning of the year the Nuggets were my pick to go to the finals.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Mine too. But I just need it to be either the Nuggets or Detroit, not both.
Right. Yeah. It'd be tougher for you than it would be for us, for sure. But
I mean, easy want the Pistons to win, but it's hard to root for a team and then root against them for 7 games straight,
Right. It's an interesting question. Douglas says, higher ceiling, Ron, Asar, or both of them? Higher ceiling? That's tough. That's a tough question.
Because I would say right now, Ron, well, no, because Asar did well tonight. I just think Ron.
I'm gonna say slightly.
Okay.
Asar, as far as ceiling goes.
Okay.
Just because you can't teach his athleticism.
That's true.
Right.
And,
and Ron is athletic. Don't get it twisted.
And
but Asar and Amin are like LeBron called them aliens. So I just think right now, Ron is the more complete player. I think his game is more mature on both sides. But ceiling wise, if Asar can get there, I think he may have a slightly higher ceiling just because of the raw athleticism that he has.
I would say I agree. But also I need to give both of them their props because Ron, he started. I think that Asar wants to be a ball handler, or the Pistons want Asar to be a ball handler. I think they're rushing him into it where he can, I think, be an incredible ball handler and run an offense, but like there's no need to rush it. Well, Ron took on this challenge of I want to shoot threes and I want to shoot mid-range, and he's been showing that off lately. So I feel like he's hitting his goals faster. So I think that, and I think Asar, if Asar, can mentally get there too, he can hit his goals as well. But just because Ron is hitting his goals quicker doesn't mean that Asar won't hit his goals.
Right.
That's why it's like, but
that's why I think ceiling wise, I would probably give it to Asar, but it's close.
They're both such good defenders. And right now I think Ron's, even though I think Asar had one more point than Ron tonight, I think Ron does better for us offensively. But no, Asar, he's been finishing at the rim a lot better. I'll give that to
I think
Asar.
Ron's more consistent.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think that's why it's hard to say right now because I'm seeing Ron improve and stay improved while I'll get, we're on like game 2 now of Asar doing well. Like he'll do like 3 or 4 games well and then like sink back for 3 games, then do 3 but Ron is just across the board bringing it, so yeah.
That's a good question. Right. It's a fun question. It's not even like it's a competitive question because both of these guys have a high ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin says if Ron's jumper gets as reliable as his touch at the rim, yeah.
The touch at the rim is the thing because Asar does get to the rim, but again, like we said, Asar can get to the rim cleanly and miss, but Ron can get there crazy and touch it in. So reliable is the word there because I trust Asar driving to the rim more than Ron driving to the rim more than Asar right now. I would say. Yeah. But I trust Asar's jump shot a little bit more. But then I trust Ron's.
You trust Ron's jump shot a little bit more, right?
No, Asar's on jump shot,
really?
mid-range.
Oh, mid-range. Okay, well, that's different. Okay.
We haven't seen either of them put up a lot, but Asar was working on that, and he did sink a couple games ago. I think it's against the Heat. He looked nice. He would like turn around, and shoot it. That was good. He did that today too. And then also, but I do trust Ron's 3 more. So there's just some things I trust about him. But the reliable part of that is what gets me because he is more reliable at getting it in these crazy shots. I feel like Ron, and so if he can pull up crazy and drain it. That like you said, that's kind of scary.
It is, and it's just nice to have both of those guys.
Yeah.
So like, we'll definitely see. It's something I have my eye on for sure, just to kind of see how those guys progress based on where they are right now. So we'll see. Yeah. Good question. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing. Boss, let's go to Savage. Can you woo? Javonte Green, guys, finished tonight with 11 points on 4 for 9 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 4 steals. Again, in 25 minutes. Take off on Savage. Whoa.
My notes for him were just that he was getting in the passing lane. Again, the steals were huge tonight. We had only 8 turnovers and Chicago had 17. We forced 17 turnovers on them. I would say they had a couple where Vooch threw over the head, but most of them were forced. He just came in clutch. Like has been being consistent. 4 of 9 is great. Had that big 3. The steal at the end of the 4th was huge. And then I don't know if you heard this stat that they announced, but in the last 3 games, when Woo's on the floor, the Pistons are 9 points better defensively.
Exactly.
And again, his defense, they put him on to keep it away from Ayo DeSumo at the end of the game. They put him on there, and they put him on Matas to keep the ball away from him, and he did a great job. And again, that's how he was forcing, he just moves so well that it's hard. He breaks through screens. He gets around screens really fast. Like he's one of those guys that can get around screens really fast.
Yes.
And he just – most of his steals came at clutch moments. I love that he was, again, this is what you always say, so I'll let you take off after this, but he may not start, but he always finishes. And did that tonight. So
100%. And he's doing it more and more now as of late, right? He's the 9 points better as far as the defensive rating is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. That just
that's a high number.
That's a high number because he's just such a connector. He just knows how to do so. We always say he's not the best at anything, but he's really good at a lot of different things.
Yes.
He can help you in a lot of different ways, and he rarely hurts you. The one turnover he had was when we saw him trying to get the offense going. He was trying to dribble drive to the rim, and that's not really his game, right? And he turned it over once again. So that was everybody had a part to play as far as that was concerned. But that was his
Right.
only turnover.
Yeah.
Chris says,
Oh, sorry.
Mr. What you need, Mr. Call me what the F you want, Mr. As long as you got Mr. Right, Mr. Lost my shoe, Javante tonight. He just gets it done.
And
he
I
just
love
gets it done.
It also shows his grind because we've seen players lose their shoes and to get up and go play instead of sitting back because he knew he needed to get back on defensively. That's what he's in the game for. So he played without a shoe because you'll see guys sit there and be like, well, they'll just have it on 4. I'll just lag behind. I'll throw my shoe on, But he was like, nah, I got to get back right now to get in the way. So.
Yeah. Devon says green is our Brown. Is he referring to Bruce Brown? I'm wondering. Maybe because he's with Denver now, right?
Jaylen Brown?
That's what Brown he's talking about. No, I don't think Jaylen Brown. You let us know who you're talking about there, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he just does it all. And he's another guy, boss, who is once again surprising me with his handle. There's so many plays that he's pushing and he's moving down the court, and it looks like he's about to lose the ball.
Yeah.
But there was a dead play where it was a foul called to stop. You probably saw it, and he was just still going to the rim, crossing, and it's like, and he makes his up and under scoop like high off the glass. And it's like, this dude, man, he is impressive. Like he's able to do a lot more than you thought he'd be able to do when he first got here. Yeah, okay, Bruce Brown. Yeah, he can do a lot of different things. He can. He's good at facilitating on the break. He's a good defender. He can knock down shots. He's probably a better shooter than Bruce Brown, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. And I was. This is the second game in a row where he's had a near dunk that I just really wanted him to finish.
Yeah, for sure.
But he'll make up for it. Some of those breakaways too. He just did the smarter thing and laid it in. Just a sign of being a vet. So. I like you said, he just comes in and he just gets it done. And this was against his former team, a team that he spent a lot, when we think of him, he's been on a lot of teams. Like you said, he's looking for a home, but I think of him as a Bull before this. So just had to feel good. And I saw him, chit chat. They called a timeout at one point, and he was, I don't know, elbowing all the Bulls players that were going to their bench. Just got little shoulders in there, So he's feeling he just gets. He gets it done, and he's just so fun to watch and just delivers. I mean,
by the way, everybody's trolling in the chat right now. Saying, no, Charlie Brown,
Kwame Brown.
Larry Brown, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown. That's hilarious.
I love it.
Man. I love what I saw. Like he rarely has a bad game.
Yeah,
across the board where you're like, he didn't help us win. And once again, he did it again tonight, man. He made his customary passing lane steal that he seems to make every game now. Early in the season, he was like going forward and missing them. Like, come on, bro. Now you give us a numbers disadvantage. But lately, he's been hitting on those way more. So he's doing a lot of good stuff, man. Almost threw down that oop as well.
Yeah.
Dennis had a pass, and the pass is actually a little off target. That's why he had to go with his left hand. But he almost threw that down. That'd have been crazy. But he was great. He was great, man. Like I still don't know how we got him here for $2 million.
And again, like his offense isn't what we want. We want him for his defense, but his offense also comes in the clutch. Like he hit those threes for fun in the clutch. And I was kind of hoping we had the ball with 19 seconds left. I was really hoping that someone would do something because I just want to see Vooch continue to spiral about guys.
About the last shot.
He hit that three right before. Was that him? Yeah, I think he hit the possession before to like really seal the game at 15. So he's just
every time he shoots, it looks like it's good.
Yeah,
every time he lets it go.
Exactly, and you can tell that he, we see a couple every now and then we'll see a mid range, but it's either at the rim or it's a three for him. That's kind of where he is. And again, like if he's at the three, like you see him at the rim rebounding offensive, like he's just everywhere. He just moves, and I think that he appreciates. Again, their energy is feeding off of each other. So, and their energy is feeding off of these wins. So I think, he's obviously thriving here right now because this is the kind of energy he wants. And he is a very great transition basketball player as well on both sides. He gets back on defense when needed. And he just likes to run. You can rely on him in half court, but he wants to run. And that's what we like. So,
and this is great too, guys. We are deep AF. The wins we have without Cade and Dern are the most impressive. Without our two all-star players, we're still getting dubs. Yeah, right? That's super impressive. You mentioned we won last game against the Bulls without Cade, right? And tonight we beat them without Cade and JD and Tobias. So that's definitely impressive, man. The signs of a really deep and good team.
The Bulls have faced our G League team twice. You know, because I remember, you know, guys, I am from Chicago. So when we lost the home opener of the Bulls, I got a lot of flack into my inbox from people I grew up with.
Yeah.
And I could not wait to be like, Pistons G League squad just beat your healthy squad, you know? But because I think Jordan was out for that game too. I think that was when we were in
Was
the
he?
I think
Okay.
he was when we were in the thick of it. I think I could be wrong. But I also remember Jordan playing on Vooch, so maybe not. But yeah, we just
and to be fair, they were missing a couple guys. Like Giddy was out, Kobe White was out as well. But
right, so it just evened
those
it up.
guys aren't Cade and JD. Is levels to it, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, bad Leroy Brown. You don't know. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Chaz Lanier, who got some minutes tonight, guys. Chaz Lanier had 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, in only 11 minutes, boss. Swaggy Chaz, take off.
Look, what really excited me about him was that his first shot, he got it behind the line and just realized he was guarded. He didn't have it. So he went in and drained a jumper. And here we are thinking, you know, he's just going to stand, you know, not stand around, but based on what we've seen him, he just kind of hangs on the perimeter. He's a catch and shoot guy. He has a super quick release. So to see that from him, I was like, okay, Chaz, way to drain your first bucket. And it's a nice little jumper that we needed. And then, yeah, his threes, like that was awesome. And I just think it's just as exciting because, you know, it's just another one to add to the list of reliable guys we can go to. And now they're just going to, I mean, it's like, oh, now he could be in the rotation, but where?
Right.
So
right.
It's just exciting for these guys because again, now we can see, like you said, with injuries, with rest, especially guys like the way we've been at the number 1 spot for what, almost 2 months now. Because a couple weeks ago you said we were there for 6 weeks, maybe we're on 7 weeks, but almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months.
And you know, again, it's close shots. If the East stays close, it can change. Doesn't really matter. I think we can finish top 4. You know, have home court advantage in the playoffs.
I mean, with us winning and all these teams at number 2 losing. It's
right,
that's true. It's looking pretty good right now.
That's true. I mean, the Knicks and Celtics can dance all I care, but you know, but it's just nice to think about, you know, that as the season goes on, like tonight, like I actually thought, you know, Cade had a hip contusion, was questionable, so I thought that's what it's going to be tonight, and then it was wrist. So these are things that are ailing Cade, but if we really needed him tonight, like he would play, which is what we said about other guys earlier. So it just knowing that we have a shooter like Chaz that can come in if we're missing, like, you know, some more offensive guys. Like if Duncan was out tonight too, he would have stepped up big, you know, when we're missing some of these dudes. And I'm just really thrilled for him because he earned his 12 minutes were earned and he showed out. I hope that he's happy. And again, we'll have to check the poll again and also see what was, if anything was determined, but
it's definitely still at 86%, Chaz at 9%, Danis at 5%, and other at 1%. So.
But again, that just tells you what the fans see, what the team probably sees, that he went out there and he stepped up as Rook to help us get a substantial lead and finish out the game.
I'm gonna get some of these comments. Chris says he reminds me of Allen Houston. I like that. I like that. Like Allen Houston was a dead-eye shooter, man. This is crazy. Some things I didn't even realize. Organic says, where's number 20 like Allen Houston too? Both from Tennessee.
Oh, I wonder if there's a connection.
That is crazy, actually. I didn't realize Allen Houston was at Tennessee. I knew Chaz was. That's interesting. But yeah, like, I loved what I saw, man. Like I'm still low-key, I'm still salty on the Allen Houston thing because like the Pistons could have. I think they offered him real quick. I think they offered him like 7 years for 27 million or 28 million, and the Knicks offered him like double. And he's like, all right, well, I mean, you know, so like I can't even be mad, but it's like that kind of hurt. But I do see a lot of similarities there as far as the shooting ability. But Chaz is just very mature. Like he looks like he played a full college career. Like, he played all 4 years in college, and it looks like it. He's very mature. He comes into the game very ready to go. He doesn't need a minute to get going. Like he knows what he's supposed to do, where he's supposed to be on the court. You can just see he's got a very mature disposition about him. Organic says, JB spoke in the post game about how he isn't surprised to see Danis and Chaz be ready because they stayed 4 years in college under great coaches. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
and I know and you know, you think about it, like Danis played for Coach K.
Yeah.
Right? Or not, he played for, no, I'm sorry. Was it Coach? No, Rick Pitino. I'm sorry. Rick Pitino is who Danis played for. And
he had quite a few coaches. I mean, he traveled around, but they're all under JB's all great.
St. John's, Coach Pitino for sure. And then you know, Chaz fits because he played for a defensive-minded Tennessee team.
Two-way.
Two-way player. So I wasn't concerned about him being able to come in and play and contribute defensively, because that was what he had to do at Tennessee to get on the court. So this was a natural fit for him in that department. Kevin says, yeah, that Allen Houston is 54. Yeah. Time has wings, bro. Waits for no one, for sure. But yeah, Chaz, welcome to the party, bro. Like he did a great job in the second half. Kudos to JB for putting him in the game.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Kudos to him for doing that, because he had great minutes. You mentioned he hit that first shot confidently, knocked down another 3-ball later on. And once again, boss, his time with the Motor City Cruise looks to have paid dividends. And because they do a lot of the same things as we do here. And he was able to come here right away and just pick up where he left off, just with different guys.
Yeah, and like we mentioned in previous shows, like the Crews practice in the same place as the Pistons isn't necessarily common, and so they practice together there. And I think that's why JB first of all saw the connection between Danis and Chaz, and also just knew that he was ready to come in. Yeah. And I think it would have been a kind of like a Sasser situation tonight, where if he wasn't getting open or getting shots up, he probably wouldn't have been there, but he found his shots. Again, he was wide open for his threes because they didn't do their scouting report, because we could just throw him in. And so I've always been an advocate for, if you need a spark, just try something. And so I'm really glad that coach tried him tonight.
Yeah. And I think this is a great point too. He has an NBA body. Like, yeah, he looks like he's about 6'4".
Yeah.
Nice. He's got good size to him, which fits along with what Trajan Langdon said he wanted, was that optionality and defensive versatility, right? He can guard a 2 or a 3 or 1 or 2, maybe some small threes, right? So he's strong, he's stocky. So I think he's going to be just fine defensively. He actually had a nice deflection to cause a steal as soon as he got the game.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right? So contributed defensively right away. And the shot making is going to be there. He's a rhythm shooter. I remember earlier JB said there's going to be some games where he drops 30 points in the half.
And today, right? I kind of realized, last game that he was in garbage time, like his catch and shoot, his release is so fast. Quick. And today I realized that he kind of slowed it down, like just a little bit. Because if you go see, he really just catches it and throws it up. He can make those, but tonight he slowed it down just enough to be sure that he got his shot. So I'm impressed by that as well. And he's just got to, go home feeling good. And like, again, all these young guys, I mean, you just hope that, it's nice to have the young talent that we can, that can be homegrown when we're, dealing, depending on what happens, is we're dealing with contract stuff, when we're dealing with trade scenarios, like just to know that we have this much young talent.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. Trajan got us one.
Yeah.
Clifton, for sure.
Our only one, our only draft pick last year, which is also weird for us.
Right. Second, was it second round,
yeah.
right?
Yep. Crazy. I think it was 32.
30. Okay. Maybe that was Bobby, who was like 37. Yeah. He was like early 30. Second round, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it there. But yeah, great stuff, man. Glad he got an opportunity, and he definitely not even just played well, but helped us get this win tonight for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys. Lastly, we'll go to Marcus Sasser tonight. He didn't play much, guys. Sass tonight he didn't score, missed his only shot, 3-ball, 1 rebound, 1 turnover in 7 minutes. And this is what I mean, boss. Really quickly, it's just going to be tough to see once again how coach navigates this. It's just 3 games ago, Sass had back-to-back games where he just went off.
Well,
and then tonight he's got 7 minutes. So it's going to be tough, man.
He couldn't get open,
situation.
Is what I realized. He couldn't get open for his shot. So again, I think the Bulls did their research. The last 2 games, they're like, oh, these Sass and Danis guys, like they're who we need to guard. That's also why Danis, maybe wasn't hitting some of his most favorite shots, and even the easy ones that he usually gets weren't going in. But he got the job done passing. But in the 6 minutes, I just didn't see Marcus Sasser get open, because I was looking for that, because I was like, oh, we need shooting right now. Like, let's let Marcus put some up, because that's what he brings off the bench. But they were not letting him get the ball. So I think that's why they took him out. And again, someone mentioned his a little small. I think that was another factor. The Bulls are a tall team, a bigger team. He got, I think, was it Williams that got by him pretty easy?
Yeah, Patrick Williams.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think, I don't think it's anything to say about what's going forward. Like you said, who knows how we get these guards times. But again, the whole point was situational. Like we talked about, like, well, he'll be these guys will be a great matchup against these types of teams. And these guys will be, so tonight, Danis was the better guy for the Bulls. And then, bringing Chaz in for a spark, because the Bulls just did their research on Sasser and he was being defended very well. So I think it was just more more that, and then we might see him get 12 minutes, 15 minutes next time.
I think too though with Chaz is that he's an off the ball shooter.
Yeah,
Like, he's not a guy who needs the ball in his hands, step back three. Like, he can move without the basketball. And I think
that's true.
playing in the half court, like we had to do for a lot of this game before until we blew it open in the fourth, you need that.
Well, that's like
we have guys who can have the ball in their hands and they can get a shot, but
right.
can we get better quality shots off of moving without the basketball? And that's exactly what Chaz does. So coach made a great decision bringing him in.
And I think that's why it worked with Danis, because Sass does do well when he brings up the ball or he's in control. And since Danis in control and Sass was moving around, like, and again, just couldn't get open and then couldn't, find a shot. But Danis, did a good job of finding guys like Chaz who, like you said, just need to catch and shoot kind of thing.
Yeah. Dante says, can we all agree that we have a good problem as far as our depth? Yes, we can.
Yes.
I'm 50-50 when it comes to trades. I also agree on bringing in Lanier to finish this game. Made a lot of sense. Yes. Yeah. Good coaching by JB. 100%. Yeah, I totally agree with all that. Boss, go ahead.
I'm glad it's not my decision to make. I'm glad it's not my decision to make, but I'm also just really glad that the decision is in the hands of Trajan Langdon. That's kind of where I'm at right there. So it's like, I'm just going to go up and trust, but I just do keep, I said it last time, once a trade happens, it kind of gets the ball rolling for others. So we just saw Trae Young get traded tonight. So see what else comes.
That could be the first domino. You never know.
28 days. Yeah.
One more thing on Sass. He did have a really nice pass to B-ball Paul that he just bobbled. It should have been a dunk.
Yeah.
And he was a little frustrated. He was like, come on, bro. I just gave you, just dimed you up. Yeah. But I don't think Bree was ready for it. I think he was looking for Sass, who's a scorer, to just go to get a bucket. But Sass gave it to him. He just lost the ball. So Sass was looking to get others involved too. It wasn't like he was just trying to come out there and score. I want to give him credit for that too.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it is just coming down to, like you said, just kind of the matchups. And I think this Heat against was it the Heat that he popped off of? Yeah. Against?
Yes. It was 2 back-to-back games. It was 2 games.
Right. So that's also why I think the Bulls did their scouting reports on these guys, because they did keep 2 very good scorers that have been hot lately. I mean, combined, Jenkins and Sasser had 2 points. Yes, Jenkins got 15 assists, but that's the whole point too, is like he was trying to feed people. So I think if Sass had to get more minutes for whatever reason, injury, whatever, that's what he would have done too. I think he would have just racked up some assists as well.
Yep, same here. So we'll leave it there, guys. Let's take a look at the schedule and see what we have upcoming, boss. Our next game doesn't come until Saturday, guys. The Pistons get 2 full days off. And, boss, I'm pretty sure they're going to be licking their chops when they get back to it Saturday night at home, because that's when they have their rematch against the LA Clippers that you just spoke about. Yeah. And we all know how last game went against the Clippers a little over a week ago, right, with Kawhi going nuclear for 55 points. So I'm sure they're going to be ready for that one. What are your thoughts on that game, boss?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. If you can pull that back up for me for a second. I was going to mention, I think I'm excited for the Clippers. I think we'll approach them better. I'm glad their win streak ended, even if it was at the hands of the Knicks. I think we'll just approach it a little better. But then we have a 5-day break. We don't play the Suns till the 15th after that. But then after that break, all those games on there are every other day. So we get a long break and then we're just back at it. It's every other day, even with travels.
You're right. To the end of this, to the end of the month.
Yeah. So we have a little break, which will be nice for us. But then we just gotta stay locked in, because there's a Pelicans away game in there. There's the Nuggets one away game in there, then the Suns. So we do have a lot of home games, which is nice. Yep. But to have only 1 day in between games and be traveling, that's going to be a little taxing on them. So I'm excited. We got 2 days rest here, then the Clippers. I don't know what I'll do for 4 days.
Well, I'm just glad that after this long road trip that we get days off while we're home.
So true. And for especially with some of these guys on the injury report, because it's starting to add up.
Exactly.
It's starting to add up with JD and K. Like, it's starting to be like, okay, like, yeah, these other guys get opportunity, but like we don't want 3 of our 5 starters on the bench or injured at all times, So we get them time to heal nicely.
So it's nice that Cade is going to have 4 days off.
Yeah,
5 days off pretty much before he plays after having a little wrist issue. So that was smart to not have him play tonight when you have a Danis Jenkins on your team for sure.
Yes, I think JD will still be out because they said reevaluate in a week or something. I think he'll still be out for the Clippers, I think. But then but I expect Cade to be back, and Tobias will be out. I think they said 2 weeks for him, so he will be out.
Yeah.
As well. So like I said, I expect Cade to be back, and there was really no reason to play him tonight with them being depleted as well, and us having our trust in our guys who have already beat them shorthanded. So,
and we'll see Stu for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's interesting because Tobias is going to be out for 2 weeks. So I think that's a nice sample size to be able to see what you really have there with that 2 big lineup. I think the early results are great. Organic says 5 days with no Detroit basketball is a bit painful. It is. It is. Just focus on the fact that it's not painful for them because they get to heal.
Well, they said there was like the admin did like a hot take thing, like what's your hot take? And Stu's was get your rest. That was his hot take. Just get your rest. Which is just so funny to me because I'm just like, he's probably just so good at time management. He runs a farm, he's watching film, he's resting. You know,
he's very disciplined.
He's getting
very
strong.
Disciplined.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So guys, we'll look forward to that Clippers game. I'm sure the Pistons are going to come in with a lot of pride to avenge the last couple of losses now, right? Because the last couple of games against them have resulted in 50 balls from both Kawhi and James Harden. So,
there's still time, guys. It's 3-for-1 All-Star voting, real quick.
Right.
Still time here, but it's 2 hours there. So yeah, you guys still got
40 minutes to go vote. It's a 3-in-1 day where one vote is worth 3. So
and there's only a week left, I think, of All-Star voting. So,
and you mentioned he has kind of made up some ground on a few guys, right? As far as the voting is concerned.
Yeah. So the New York Knicks fans came out strong. I think he's behind Brunson. But then he went from 1 million to 1.7 million.
Yep.
Brunson went from like 1.3 million to 1.9 million. So he's getting more votes. He's getting it. He's getting it done. And obviously, Cade is most likely going to be an All-Star. But just to see people show up,
it's still crazy to me.
It's so fun
that JD is still not top 20.
Yeah.
In fan voting.
And
that's
Embiid
insane,
is.
bro.
I'm like, guys, are you watching Joel Embiid or are you just recognizing names?
Embiid, Josh Hart, like what?
Yeah. What's the Knicks fan? The Knicks have their whole starting. Like they have Mikal on there. They got Cat.
We gotta do better, man.
Yeah,
that's great. Y'all go vote, man. Go vote for JD and K for sure. And anybody else you want, but definitely those two because having the best record. I mean, we all know JD's not going to be a starter, so the coaches, or he's probably going to get him through the coaches just because we're going to have the number 1 seed. That'll be enough. Will they play back to back? By the way,
the Clippers. The Clippers play the Nets on Friday, and then us on Saturday.
Oh, I'm not sure what the Clippers schedule is.
Right, but I think that's so. I think if that's what it is, Camille's just bringing up that the Clippers will be coming off a back to back, so that's nice.
They got an older squad, so hopefully that for sure. So we'll see. Yeah. But guys, that is a wrap for tonight's show. We appreciate you guys showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Great questions, great comments, great feedback, great support. So Pistons get the dub. We needed it, and we now move on to 28-9 on the regular season. 3-game winning streak, looking to make it more. So, as always, we appreciate the support you guys have been giving us. Keep voting, like Drew says. Keep voting for our guys. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you enjoyed the show, and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Saturday night. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cop a hill, cause I'm like that.